7 Days to Die is very fun at times, very frustrating and challenging at times, and sometimes just boring. Before we go any further, I would like to clarify that I am only reviewing the Xbox One version today and am planning a follow-up video for the PC version, which is way different from console. So please don't comment something like, "You're wrong about this because on the PC version." No, today, console only. That being said, I will point out some differences between the two throughout the video. 7 Days to Die is a pretty standard survival game taking place during the zombie apocalypse, with no real goal other than to survive as long as possible by whatever means the player may choose. The PC version does have quests, and if I'm correct, they don't really exist on the Xbox version. That, or I just didn't find any, so the only real goal is to survive. The game has several customizable options to choose from when starting a new game, such as difficulty and daylight length. I first attempted the game on adventurer mode and then started a new game on the easiest scavenger difficulty. I suck at this game, and even struggled at times on the easiest difficulty setting. I actually died twice on the scavenger setting and struggled a lot. This game is very grindy at times. You need this. You need that. You are hungry. You are thirsty. How on earth does my character eat 2 cans of food and an ear of corn and it barely touches his food bar? I often felt like the entire world was against me, such as getting sick from drinking murky water which ultimately led to a death, or walking into a tiny, barely visible cactus and receiving damage from it. And the weather in this game, again, we're only talking the Xbox version, and I apologize if it picked up my cat in the background, was really whack at times. Like having a 70-degree day and a 92-degree night, or having rain, snow, then dry weather all within the course of 3 in-game hours without the temperature ever reaching freezing. It might sound like I'm trying to complain and say, "This game is too hard," but no, I am not. As a whole, I generally prefer games with survival elements versus actual horror games, such as Metro Last Light or Fallout New Vegas Hardcore Mode or We Happy Few. As a whole, survival games usually aren't for me just because of the grinding that so many of them require. The combat on this game is decent. I never acquired any guns in my 7 days, although I found quite a few gun pieces. I mostly wound up just using a wooden club, which was pretty effective against the undead. Similar to Ubisoft's Zombie, 7 Days to Die is programmed so that it's challenging to take on more than a couple zombies at once in melee combat, and if you get cornered, it's over. That being said, I usually enjoyed fighting the Zeds, although it was annoying getting stunned and or infected during combat and not being able to find the right medicine needed to save your life. Moving on to crafting, I feel this game had some influences from Minecraft, such as punching trees down at the start of the game for wood or cube-shaped building materials. Crafting is generally pretty simple. All the most important recipes you spawn in knowing how to craft. More advanced ones can be learned by reading books or finding schematics, and certain items can only be crafted by using crafting stations, such as a furnace or a campfire. That's all of the core gameplay discussed. My 7 days went something along these lines. I spawned in a desert and started working my way to the trader. He was incredibly far away, so I had to make a quick shelter to hunker down for the night. The following day I reached him and set out exploring, finding a fishing hut with a small pier I decided to claim as my base. I spent the night crouched in a corner. I managed to accidentally barricade myself inside with enough rock to craft another axe and spent several hours of the morning trying to punch my way out of the shack. The 4th day, and this is all if my memory serves me right, I decided to drink from the river, got sick, and on the 5th day it was pretty clear I was going to die because I couldn't find medicine. So I put my stuff into storage and let the zombies finish me. I respawned with reduced health and stamina, but at least I wasn't sick. I spent day 6 trying to scavenge and upgrade my base. I had built a small shack at the end of the pier and chopped off part of it. Small enough that I could jump over it, but the zombies couldn't reach me. On the Xbox version, zombies can't really jump. At the start of day 7, despite all of my efforts, I was starving to death and just couldn't get enough food to stay fed. So once again, I put my stuff into storage and let the zombies get me. Spawning in yet again, with my health and stamina further reduced, I spent the day fortifying my little shack with traps. Then the Horde Night came. It was very underwhelming. I literally did not even see a zombie while I was camping at the end of the pier. I heard a couple, but didn't ever see one. The morning finally came and I decided I was done. It's not that 7 Days to Die is a bad game, it's just not for me and I had had enough. That's my experience in a nutshell. The game is fun at times, but just not my game. I must give this game some serious credit with the horror elements, though. The zombie screams and eerie music can definitely send some chills down your spine. The Xbox version does struggle with lag at times, and occasionally was so dark I had to use a torch during the middle of the day. Kinda like Transit's fog from Black Ops 2. The devs just had to make the game dark to prevent crashes. Just a console restriction issue, I guess. Also, very obviously, the PC version has superior graphics than Xbox. So, if you are looking to buy this game, get the PC version if your computer can handle it. Also, sometimes the zombies were glitchy, usually in my favor, such as they got stuck on items and couldn't really move, or sometimes in combat they just randomly forget I existed and started walking away or walking in circles. Overall, how would I rank 7 Days to Die? In my personal opinion, it's a pretty meh game, but if you like open world survival games, it's probably worth a spin. My final score, 7.4 out of 10, it's just not really for me. Once again, I do eventually plan on reviewing the PC version, so maybe subscribe if you want to stick around for that. I mostly discuss zombie and horror games here, so if that's your thing, maybe check out a couple of my other reviews. That's all for today, folks. I hope you enjoyed watching. God made you special, and He loves you very much. Peace.